so welcome to the episode of Adding Perspective with Josh. I'm Josh.
I'm Aphrodite.
I'm Coach Nrgy.
This is how I start, right here. Okay, this is how it's gonna go. Okay, like. So this week we're gonna talk about, should you tell your partner that you're bored? Okay, like how should you tell your partner that you may be bored with something in your relationship?
Just do what Nrgy doing. I'm bored.
No, don't do it that way. Okay, like don't watch your body language, watch your tone, watch the delivery, watch your time and place with that.
Right.
It's just all of that, because it's a very sensitive thing to tell somebody that, hey, this isn't working for me, right? This right here, we need to do something different. Okay, like any number of those things could just potentially be an argument, like all that. And the thing about that is that some people come around to that question, like, should they tell somebody that they're bored? Like, do you think that should be something that a person says? Like, should they tell their partner that they're bored?
Yeah, they definitely need to express it very carefully. Yes. Yeah.
Just as some candy stand. Not just funny.
No. Mm-hmm. Please don't do that. Okay. Don't do no version of that. Okay. Like.
No, I'm good.
Like if you're gonna do that, leave the hand motions out. Okay. You're gonna do that. Okay. Like you can leave the facial gesture, but don't leave the hand signals out. Okay. Just leave that out. Okay.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm bad focused.
That's extra. Okay.
They definitely should express to their partner if they're bored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I just think that some areas of boredom are a little bit easier to talk about than other areas of boredom.
Okay.
Because you can say that, hey, I'm bored with the amount of or the types of dates we go on. Okay, like we always go out to eat, or we always going to the movies, or we always Netflixing and chilling. You know, that kind of stuff. Like all this creates boredom. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. I didn't know Netflix had a C or a K. He said Netflixing. I'm sorry.
Oh, you heard that? You heard that part?
Yes.
Obviously, if you awake.
We was just gonna let him slide.
No, we weren't.
Nrgy.
No, we weren't. I wasn't gonna let that one slide. Oh no.
No, man.
Okay, we Netflixing.
I was just seeing if you awake. Okay, that's all it was right there. Okay, if you awake.
Yep.
Netflixing and chilling.
Netflixing it and chilling it. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And chilling it.
Chilling it. Chilling it. Don't get that confused with chitlins. Okay, don't get that. You don't get that confused. Okay? Chilling. Okay, just. I know, far. But that's the thing, right? So that's that side of it. But when somebody tells you, hey, I'm bored with the way that we do our sexual activities together and stuff like that, then that's a whole other conversation, which rightfully so. I mean, that should be a whole different conversation and stuff like that. But it still should be expressed to a certain extent, so that, you know, solutions can be created for all these you know, lackluster things that seem to be happening. But I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a very I mean, there's a whole lot of hesitancy when it comes to like trying to communicate that. To me, I think there's a whole bunch of hesitancy because you don't really want to hurt another person's feelings. Like you don't want to say something that could potentially cause conflict.
But you do know if you don't say something, it's gonna be some conflict.
Eventually, yeah. I'll say
So
eventually. I mean, but look at it this way: it's either the conflict that comes direct or the conflict that comes later, right? Like the conflict that comes a little bit further down the line.
But
Exactly.
the thing about it is, the further down the line it is, probably the worse the conflict's gonna be.
You know how many people don't think about that though, right? Like that's the thing. Like sometimes living your daily life and some subsequently like that, most people would rather wait, right, until like later to actually address a problem that should have been addressed a long time ago.
Right. I mean, I understand they would rather do it, but from my perspective, that's not the best way to approach that.
Oh no, it ain't. It's definitely not.
So I would rather. I know my partner would probably have an issue, but I would think if on further down the line, if I didn't address the issue then, that I allowed it to blow up and I allowed it to build. So when it get on further down the line, then I explode. And then I'm not able to communicate all my frustration.
That is true. That is very true.
When I could have just calmly been able to communicate, and they might be a little mad, but they'll get over it.
Yep.
I don't know if getting over it is the best way, but I'm just saying that. But I'm just saying, like, at least I let it go. I expressed it before it got too bad, and we can able to compromise and come up with some different solutions in the beginning. That's the issues a lot of people have is they wait too long to address issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the other part of it is not taking the concern seriously. You know, like even if the issue is addressed, some people just they don't see it as a big deal. You know, like it's not that big of a deal. It's not a relationship breaker to them. So it's like, why really address it? You know, because some people do that, right? Like they look at your concern and think it's you complaining, you know, like you just talking about stuff.
Well, sometimes I think, depending on you, first of all, you need to know your partner, and you should be able to distinguish whether it's true complaining or it's a true issue for them.
Yeah.
If y'all have that type of communication set up.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time when people complain, they complain about the same thing over and over again. Let's be real. But if they come to you with such an issue as I'm bored, our sexual life is not fulfilling me anymore, we need to think of some things to resolve it. And if you thought that was complaining, then you might need to do something else different.
You're right. You're right about that. I'm just saying, it's sometimes it's easy to put that in the complaint bucket. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes people do that. Okay, not me, but some people do that. Okay, like some people do. But I think that you touched on the effects of not addressing certain things. Like I think you said what can actually happen when you don't, say anything. And then to add to what you said about the whole blowing up thing, or it just comes out in like not so great ways. I think another way of how it can actually just kind of affect things is that sometimes if you feel like that situation's not being addressed, you're gonna start withdrawing, like up a little bit, and start like really just kind of dealing with certain things on your own. Yeah, especially if it's of a sexual nature, an Amazon cart might start getting full. for some people.
We're not going there.
What-
I mean, I don't know, because I'm into arts and crafts, so I'll just keep myself occupied with some hobbies. And Amazon is my place to go, so you might be right.
I'm just saying, you know, it's like you wonder why all these packages keep showing up.
Yes.
They stress shopping.
Yeah, they stress. Yeah, you stress shopping. Yeah, I get it.
That's what they doing. They stress shopping. They need to get out some way.
But I mean, like I said, that's what also happens, right? You start looking for other outlets, other sources to fulfill that boredom, right? Like that lack of situation that is happening in your relationship. You start trying to fill that void.
That's true.
And like I said, most people don't, I guess, get that, because I mean, I think that whole boredom thing starts to happen when you get into like a routine with people. Like the person that you with, you gotta get like stuck in that whole complacency thing, especially if you've been with that person for a long time. Like a long time, like that's any time between like 7 to 10 years or something like that. For some people it happens pretty quickly. Sometimes that complacency happens within, you know, the first 1 to 3 years sometimes. Like
Right.
it could happen then too, but I think you should never get that comfortable. Like you should, like people always say, hey, the same thing that you did to get me, the same way thing you need you to keep, basically. Like people say that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a true statement.
It is. Yeah, because it is a true statement. And the thing about that statement, it should go both ways, right? Because that is the thing, right? Like sometimes people, you know, only make that situation one sided. You know, like sometimes I just say it right. Some men feel like, hey, that goes one way when it should go both ways, right? Like should be working just as hard. I'm telling you, okay?
But most of the time, I think it'd be the male that, you know, fall off quicker than the female.
You are correct. Yes, you are correct. Okay, you are. But you know, hey, it doesn't matter who fall off first. We both fell off. We both fell off.
But you also got to think of the fact of the female, the other person fell off because they already feel like they being unappreciated at this point, especially if they had a conversation that they was bored and you not doing what you used to do or what you could be doing or whatever. So they withdraw and be like, I ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, it is. That's kind of why we were talking about that. I guess earlier about like not you know, falling off of the wagon when it comes to like doing things for the other person, and just kind of holding yourself accountable for that. Because I mean, it's not really your, I guess, partner's obligation to hold you accountable for stuff that you should be doing anyway. Right? Like that's the thing. It's not a parenting situation where you can't hold yourself accountable. You know, like if you know you're supposed to be doing X, Y, Z, do X, Y, Z, right? Like just do it. Usually it's that simple, but sometimes it's make it complicated. I tell you. Ain't that right, Andy?
That's right. No, unnecessary.
What is
No, because people tend to like avoid conversations because it may be hard or difficult or not comfortable. But like y'all said at the beginning, like it's a topic like this. You're either going to have it at the beginning or you're going to wait and have it at the end. The key lesson in that is the fact that you're going to have it at some point. So don't avoid it. become okay with having whatever type of conversation, whether it's comfortable or uncomfortable. That doesn't matter. It doesn't mean not to have it. You still need to do it. It's suggested to still do it. Shoot.
Yeah. So what are the reasons why some people would get bored in their relationship?
It's the repetitive same stuff over and over again.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
It's something they didn't really want to do. They just was doing it for their partner.
Okay. I would say an old school mentality.
Yes.
I think that was another reason, another component of people getting bored.
Yes, it is. Not knowing who, not understanding that the person that they were married to or they was dating in the beginning is to have totally changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what worked back then may not work now.
Yeah, you're right. I would say selfishness too.
Yes.
I'm saying some people, not everybody, some people a little selfish. Thinking about their needs, okay? Everybody need to be needed. No, everybody. Everybody. She missed that.
I did.
Watch
I
the
wouldn't
replay.
post.
Watch the
I will.
It's caught on camera. That's Josh.
What? I was just making it right like that.
Oh, you made it rain.
It's coming down like it went down slow like this. So. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't wiggle fingers like this. So okay.
Your fingers are too long, Josh. You can't wiggle them.
They are. Look, they out of camera. They out of the screen right now. Can't do it.
That's what she said.
Huh? You what now? you what? What?
Aphrodite, did you hear me?
I got what you said. Oh goodness.
What happened?
It was just a joke.
I cannot.
I'll tell you off camera.
Oh man.
So you can edit it out.
Don't be talking about me. Okay, don't be talking about me. Okay.
That is gonna cause her to go left. Do not tell him during this time. No, ma'am.
Oh wow. But yeah, we were talking about reasons why things get bored. Okay, we talked about a couple, almost 7 reasons, I think, 7 or 8 reasons why people get bored. So what do you think can prevent boredom? All right, like what do you think that can really stop a relationship from like getting stagnant, or falling into a routine? Like what things do you think can stop that?
Good communication, switching it up from whatever compromising look like for you and that person, depending on what part of boredom you on, and knowing your partner to the as best as you can.
Yeah. No, communication.
Allowing them to express themselves and have that conversation with without just trying to blow up and get all defensive and all that kind of stuff. Like what Nrgy said, learn how to have those conversations.
Yeah. No, communication is key, like it is. Acceptance is also key too. Like I think that sometimes whenever people have those conversations, it's kind of hard to accept, Like when somebody come up to you and say, "Hey, I'm bored with whatever that situation is," it's hard to hear it, right? Like it's hard to actually hear, okay, maybe I'm not, living up to whatever that expectation is. So I think that really just taking whatever that information is, learning how to resolve whatever feelings or emotions you have about it, and then trying to create a solution after that, it's probably gonna be the best bet.
Yep. I agree.
But I also think that, to prevent a relationship that from actually getting like bored or boredom or whatever the case may be, you have to be open-minded. Like when it comes to like trying stuff, because you can't necessarily make a person be open-minded. That's the other thing. Like you're either open-minded or you're not, and then if you are not open-minded, you have to have the capability of opening a little bit, just wanting to do something different, and that just not having that shut down mentality when somebody say, "Hey, let's go here," and you be like, "No, I don't want to go there," and stuff like that. That's probably not the best idea. Okay, that's never the best idea to just say 100% no to something without having some type of alternative solution to something.
Mm-hmm.
That way, at least there's some wiggle room there, and the other person doesn't feel like, you just completely just shut them down, and then that's it.
So true. I agree.
So what else? Anything else other than those 4 things?
What you think, Nrgy?
Those were the main ones that I at least initially thought of, because we both started speaking right away and you took the words right out of my mouth.
I was reading your face. That's all it was.
Okay. Yes.
It was the reflection in your glasses.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, I was reading it like this, like a teleprompter.
Yeah. What is it saying now?
I need to wrap it up.
Oh my God, it's working.
I mean, hey, I can see it in there, okay? I can see the producer going. Wrap it up.
That is funny.
It's okay, shoot. I always go off anyway. It don't have to be good. Run this tape up, dang it. Let's run it up.
You had a couple of squirrel moments tonight.
That was not a squirrel moment though, right? That wasn't, okay? We were talking about like ways to prevent boredom, right? Like that's what we were doing. See? These are ways to prevent boredom right here. It's the improv right there. It's ways to prevent boredom right there. See? Yep. There's nothing wrong with it. It makes it entertaining.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Did we get all of it though? Like I just want to make sure, right? Like did we talk about all the ways to prevent boredom? Because I feel like we're missing something.
I'm sure we are missing something.
Well, I'm thinking what we may be missing though, because we hit some pretty good key topics though, of ways to like really prevent boredom. Yeah, no, I think we did that. Yeah, I think we did. I'm proud of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. But if we miss something, I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick this up again. I'm really 100% sure about that.
You're 100% sure. Okay.
Yeah, because these comments gonna tell you something. Like they're gonna tell you something. Like, hey, you missed that. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? I like positive feedback. Positive feedback, okay? I like it, okay? Love it, okay?
Just keep me off the highlights.
Yes.
Put her on the highlight when you.
No.
Why would you say that?
Both of them. Y'all too. Yeah. It's been a great episode. Another episode of Adding Perspective with Josh. I'm Josh.
Yes, have the conversation no matter how hard or difficult. That just because it's hard or difficult doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be had. I'm Coach Nrgy.
I'm Aphrodite.
Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.